I helped my mom wash her plates at the place she used to sell donuts. I remember sometimes people made fun of me, my friends at school.
Give us the virtue to overcome doubt and despair, discord to overcome doubt and hate. I have my country. I have my country, Burkina Faso. I want to move there. I want to live there, live to build it. I want to stay there. I want to stay in my country, Burkina Faso. I want my country to be built in peace and in unity. What do you want to make of my country that I love? Please give more chances to our nation to grow despite our differences. I love my country. I love my country, Burkina Faso. I want to live there. Live to build it. I want to stay there. I want to stay there. Stay to build it in peace and in unity. Thank you, dear comrades, for this message of peace, very well sung. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the interview with the President of the Transition Head of State, interviewed by great journalists of the moment. Thank you, dear comrade, Excellency, Mr. President of the Transition. How does it feel to be interviewed by child journalists?
D'accord, bonjour à tous. Merci d'être là.
Okay, hello everyone, and thank you for being here. I must say that I am first of all. It is also the first time that I meet child journalists with unparalleled oratorical art. Congratulations to you. It gives me a lot of pleasure, and I think that it will be a moment of exchange between us, and that you will be able to learn a lot of things, so at the end, as well as me also, I will learn a lot of things from you.
Thank you, Mr. President. We too are happy to have these moments with you. Can you talk to us a little about your childhood and your professional career before being president of our country?
I was born in a village called Ka, which is located in the Bougle de Moham, where I spent part of my childhood. But above all, a large part in Bandi, which is 15 kilometers from Ka. About my childhood, I did not necessarily grow up in a well-off family. There are many things that you need to understand as a child. Above all, you have to remember, and this is the opportunity for me here, to thank the parents. At your age, it's not easy, but when I was at your age, what I remembered most from my father is, every end of the month I saw him with his slate trying to calculate. Every end of the month he calculates, and when he retires, it's every 3 months or so he calculates.
Ce que j'ai retenu plus de mon père, c'est à chaque fin du mois quand je le voyais avec son ardoise, en train de calculer.
Later, when I grew up, I understood what he was calculating. It's difficult when there is the salary and to think about how to feed the children, how to educate them, how to care for them, how to dress them. These are a few of the calculations that he made, so that is to tell you that the parents, they care a lot about us, they fight for us, and you can't imagine how many of you. When you grow up one day, you will understand.
Donc c'est pour vous dire que les parents, ils se soucient beaucoup de nous, ils se battent pour nous, et vous ne pouvez pas imaginer combien. Beaucoup d'entre vous, quand vous serez grands un jour, vous comprendrez. Nous, il a fallu qu'on grandisse et pouvoir rendre hommage à nos parents aujourd'hui.
We had to grow up and be able to pay tribute to our parents today. If there is also something that I learned from Dad, there is a sentence that he said to us every time at home. Execution before protest. Because he was a soldier also before later becoming a nurse. We obeyed him and we did what he asked us to do even if we didn't want to do it. You must first execute and later after you do it.
Et même si on ne voulait pas le faire, il faut d'abord exécuter et plus tard vous le faites comprendre.
There are a number of values that parents have instilled in us regarding first integrity, honor, dignity. These are things that we learned with them, and which forged us and which perhaps allowed us to be what we are today.
Ce sont des choses qu'on a appris avec eux et
as I said, my parents were not necessarily well off, but that didn't mean we had to go begging. It doesn't mean that you had to whine or go lie or steal. Such bad behavior was forbidden. Strictly forbidden, so there are a certain number of values, despite therefore that you are not necessarily well off, but you must embody solidarity. For example, we were always taught to share with others, and I think that there were moments when we perhaps were not in good phase. We as children did not understand why our mothers sometimes took care of other people's children. Sometimes she would give us 2 cakes and give 3 cakes to the other child. As a child, that made us a little jealous. Why don't you give us the same thing? Why even take better care of other children than her own children? She always told us that you will understand when you grow up. Then you won't perhaps be next to us. Now as grown up we understand, and we learn to also share with others. That's what we were trained in.
Donc, quand elle nous donnait 2 gâteaux, peut-être qu'elle donnait 3 gâteaux à l'enfant de l'autre.
I did a lot of household chores, which we might say are the tasks of girls. I helped my mom wash her plates at the place she used to sell donuts. I remember sometimes people made fun of me, my friends at school. But it was a way for me to support her because it's not easy to have her get up at 5 a.m. in the morning every day to make donuts. So during recess at school, I would run to join her, and I helped her sell donuts. My classmates can make fun and everything, but here I am. I helped as much as I could, so that's a bit what made me.
On dirait peut-être les tâches des filles. J'aidais ma maman à laver ses assiettes, à vendre ses beignets et tout.
I found myself free at the age of 14. When I said free, I found myself all alone in the city of Bobo, free to do what I want. But we are not children by age. It is in the head, and from this moment I understood that you had to take your life seriously, because when I say free at 14, you are free to do what you want. You have the choice to be lazy, to no longer work, to no longer go to school, but also to continue pursuing, because since primary school, I will perhaps tell you that I was always first in class, but it's not for nothing. It's because my dad didn't have fun. He took all his time to teach us at home and on weekends. When he gives you a problem or operations or a dictation and you didn't succeed, you didn't eat breakfast.
C'est dans la tête. Et à partir de ce moment, j'ai compris que il fallait prendre sa vie au sérieux.
That's a bit of how it went, but it forged us and it made us today the men that we are. We wish to be able to live up to it and pass it on to the children that you are. I think that each parent will have to give the best of themselves, and you too to be grateful and therefore to recognize the work that parents do for us. To take care of you here, that's a little summary I can say about my childhood.
Et les week-ends, lorsque tu te donnes un problème ou des opérations ou une dictée et que tu n'as pas réussi, tu ne manges pas le petit déjeuner.
Tell us about your professional career.
I must say that there is one thing today about the head of state, but I was how I'm going to say I did in primary school, secondary, university. Like everyone else, but the love of being a soldier has always lived in me. As I said, my father was in the military before he became crippled. Since childhood, I used to see his heavy helmets which were at home. I wore them, so I know that my parents knew that I have the love of the profession. But my mother never wanted to have a military child. She saw probably suffering from my dad as a soldier, so she didn't want one of her children to be a soldier. So she refused.
Il y a mon maître qui voulait coûte que je passe le concours de Britannique. Mais la maman s'est opposée farouchement. Elle a vu la souffrance sûrement du papa en tant que militaire, donc elle ne voulait pas qu'un de ses enfants.
I did a scientific course up to the university where I was in geology. After the baccalaureate, I still wanted to join the army, but she refused. But when she refused me something I couldn't force because I felt that is not good. So I continued studies for a year of master's degree while still at university, so I asked for it again. I begged her I want to be in the army. I was good in geology. I could do what I wanted. Here I had lots of scholarship possibilities because I wasn't last in class. But this time, after my master's degree, she gave me authorization and I took the Army Academy test. I went to do my training and that's it. I became an army officer. I was convinced that if she gave me her blessing, she told me to do it this time, so I was convinced I will be successful in the army.
C'est une année de maîtrise qu'elle m'a donné l'autorisation. Et j'ai fait le test de l'académie. Je suis allé faire ma formation et voilà, je suis devenu officier de l'armée.
If you like the videos I produce on this channel, take a little time to like this video and subscribe to the channel.